Good morning, everyone. I'm Madonna. I wanted to do a quick balance this morning around manifestation. I was listening to an interesting discussion this morning by a guy called Jack Ducey. He shows up in my things because he's into the power of manifestation and all that sort of thing. And he had very interesting information that has been used by the CIA for many years. So this technology they developed that helps to integrate the logical and creative sides of the brain. And what he was saying was that, and this isn't quite the way that I've been taught, but it's sort of interesting to hear it from another perspective, is that everything's being filtered through our logical or emotional creative brains, and they're often fighting each other. So when they're not connecting powerfully, then it's really hard to create the life we want, manifest that which we want and need in our lives. And anyway, it was just a very interesting discussion. And so I was thinking at the whole time he was talking, because I kept turning it off because I knew it was going to come to a sales pitch at some stage, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to be rich, but sorry, I didn't mean that negatively at all. But it was just interesting because I was more listening because he was talking about the CIA and this process they use to get people to be able to see and utilize their brain incredibly well. And I was thinking, well, that's sort of what, and the thing that Jack said was that even the CIA realized there was an energy of all things. So if your energy doesn't match what you want, then the universe is never going to allow it to happen. And I was thinking, because one of the questions has been, and I'm sorry I haven't got back to you, I keep meaning to, when I'm doing my 999, 999, 999, that is straight out of the map of consciousness. So the map of consciousness, and you can look it up and print it out, it's a pretty fabulous tool, and there's lots of colourful, beautiful pictures that you can print out. But one of the things about the map of consciousness is that it was 20 years in the making. The person who created that did over 1 million muscle tests on people of all different ages, ethnicities, from all over the world, and found that people with shame all have the same low frequency. So it's sort of like shame is a frequency of up to 20, whereas enlightenment is 700 to 1,000, which is why I just like the sound of 999. So when I'm doing 999, I'm sort of thinking we're on our way to enlightenment, we're raising our vibration, we're getting out of shame, we're getting out of guilt, we're getting out of hatred, we're getting out of division, we're getting out of all of this stuff that's tearing the world apart at the moment. If we just have our pure consciousness and allow our guides and allow our spirits, allow our gods, whatever we believe in, to come in and help us on a daily basis, our angels. And even if that is just the power of the mind, by the way, everyone is entitled to their beliefs and everyone's on their own journey with this. So, and I think everyone is entitled to everything that they believe as long as they're not hurting anyone. So when I'm doing my 999, that's where I was going. And I've been using this map of consciousness through a process called heart healing for many years. And when it's quite a long balance to actually do that, it's more like 1.5 hours to 2 hours to do it fully. And it's a big balance and it costs clients a lot of money, so I don't do it that regularly because it's quite, it's heavy and makes big shifts in people's lives. But I was thinking that that's sort of what we're doing with kinesiology. So every time we're doing one of these little balances, we're improving our conscious brain. We're getting more, we're diffusing those amygdala balance, those amygdala emotions of pain, of punishment, of fear, of shame, of anger, of switching off your pleasure reward centers. We're getting those sort of diffused. So each time we're doing these little kinesiology balances, we're sort of doing the same thing. We're sort of helping the brain to reintegrate so that the logical and creative hemispheres are working better together. So what I'm going to do in the balance, and I might even make this two parts. I'll stop in a second and then I'll do it separately, so that if you ever do want to do that balance separately over and over again for something you're working to manifest, then that's the doing. This is the explanation. And what my intention is, and as you know, when I'm doing balances, sometimes I have an intention, but then something else guides me to do something else. So it's not always what I'm meaning to, but my intention today is to get the logical and creative hemispheres connecting for what we're after, what we're wanting to manifest, and some people don't even know what they want in life, by the way, and that's a really common thing, especially, and I'm not saying that other people aren't as important as mums who are working away raising children, but it's amazing how many mums I chat to, and I said, well, what are you doing for you? And they've never been asked that question before. And it blows my mind how many people simply have never asked that question. What will make me happy? What will challenge me? What will add to my life? What will bring my life joy and peace and happiness? So yesterday I went on a bike ride with a girls motorbike group, my first group ride ever, and it was heaps of fun. So it's just me on a bike going through the trees, but I've got a 4-minute video, so there's no talking, there's no anything. It's just me achieving one of my dreams that I sort of had, and that I'd always wanted to do, but I finally had the money, the time, the energy to put into it, and now it's heaps of fun. Anyway, so that's part one, and so I'll get you to think for a few minutes. What is it you want to manifest? What is it you would like to change? Is it just something about you? Would you just like to be happy? Or would you just like to be at peace? Because sometimes that's step one. If we're not happy and at peace with ourselves, how can you even imagine something better in your life? Maybe your life is absolutely spot on perfect, and that's wonderful too. But yeah, so part 2 coming up. Okay, I love you. Take care. Bye.